Welcome to the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. This is episode 88. My name is Brian Hines.
And I am Victor Anderson.
Unfortunately, my usual co-host, Jackman Oaks, is feeling a bit under the weather today, so I would like to thank you for stepping in and talking about Rise this week.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. We are going to get into all the action from Historic Davis Arena on OVW 1332, emanating February 20th, 2025. But first...
So I'm going to do the tour updates, right?
You are going to do the tour
right.
updates.
So every Thursday, each and every Thursday, OVW Rise comes from Hot Point Davis Arena, and the doors usually open at 6:30 p.m. Show up. That is a great time. This Saturday, March the 1st, at Tailspin L-Fest in Louisville. I think OVW is going to have a show there. Am I right about that?
According to 1332 Rise, yes, they are.
All right. And then on March 29th, join us again at Hot Point Davis Arena for March Mayhem. And then as Brian... Oh, hello, Tiny Brian. Are you over there, Disembodied Voice?
I'm muted, but I'm here.
Hi. There you are.
Well, same. So am I.
Turns out that Tiny isn't the only one from Pikeville, as I am as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So, not August, April 25th, we are going to have Appalachian Armageddon in Pikeville, Kentucky at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. And remember, folks, we just like to kid around about Pikeville, but please remember Pikeville in your thoughts and your prayers for all the flooding down there.
And your giving.
And what?
And your giving. Find a reputable place to do it, but they really could use some help down there.
So far, I've heard that the governor's put some pretty reputable things out there where you can send some money, and they will make sure that it gets to the folks that need it. And that's, and then there's a free all-ages show, Element Eatery, in Cincinnati on June 28th. That's a little while out, but that's during the summer. And you can get all your tickets to all events at OVWTix, that's TIX.com.
That's right. And I'm going to have to do a little research about Element. I'm not familiar with that place, but if it's an eatery, it's for meatery. So I guess let's go ahead and you want to do a break, Tiny Brian?
Yeah, we'll just do a quick break right here. Everybody just be quiet for a second. And now back to the OVW podcast, already in progress.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
We'll just leave some space for some future ads.
Oh, all right.
Oh, we're not going to do an ad or talk about no BS?
If y'all want to talk about, you want to do an ad? You've not been on here, Victor. Do you want to talk about your business venture? One of your business ventures?
One of my business ventures?
Yeah, Lord Business. Chop, chop.
Oh, I mean, there's always...
There's Divine
Spirits, which is your premier bottling services of fine spirits here in the great state of Kentucky.
Been doing that a couple years now. We've been
doing that for about 2 years, and this is where all this is housed at. So, we're not open to the public yet, but you can find Divine Spirits online, and you can check out some of the stuff that we do.
At DivineSpiritsKY.com.
That's correct.
That's DivineSpiritsSky.com.
That's right. All right. I guess we can get on into the OVW.
All right. First off, I absolutely loved this first segment.
Oh,
we start off hot with Brandon Beretta, full-on turkey suit. You know he's hating it. You know he's hating life being stuck in this.
But he looks so good in that suit.
It's very becoming of him.
He pulls it off.
For sure, yeah. But, if the shoe were on the other foot, the turkey suit were on you, how would you feel after 3-4 months?
I would say I felt like a turkey.
Yeah, I guess so. But
probably good if he gets it off before Easter.
Then maybe
gobble.
Who knows? Maybe he'll be a ham next, or something.
Or a
like
rabbit.
that.
Well, no, this Easter's on 420, so there's a lot of things that he could dress up as.
Yeah, that's true. He could dress up as deviled eggs.
Wow,
he could.
But he comes out and he talks about how frustrated he is that he's still in the turkey suit. He hasn't gotten a win since November. He did kind of get a bad rep because, as he said, he lost one match, and that was the reverse battle royal, and that led to him being in the turkey suit. So he's come out a few times, gotten close to a couple of wins over some people, but
had
it's
to
just
face
not.
Cash.
Yeah. Well, you knew that wasn't going to happen.
No, I know, but I'm just. They kept trying to knock him down, but you have to give the kid some credit. He keeps getting back up.
Oh, yeah. He was all fired up, and he's like, just whoever it is, just come on out. And then we hear the saxophone, which means that it's somebody from Beaches and Cream. And in this case, it is none other than Luscious Lawrence.
Luscious Lawrence.
So
one half of the tag team champions.
That's right.
Worthy to say, yeah.
So you figure that, it's going to start like normal, bell rings, regular match. If it goes like everything else has for Brandon Beretta, he was going to take the loss, and that was probably going to be about the end of it. But no, he's not having that. He's like, you know what, FML, just pin me. Yeah. I'm just going to lay down in the ring and just pin me. And obviously, Lawrence
complete Kevin Nash style.
Yeah,
he laid right down.
Luscious Lawrence, a little bit puzzled by this, but reluctantly agrees. And wouldn't you know it, it was a setup from the very beginning. Brandon Beretta, quick roll up pin, 1, 2, 3, finally sheds the turkey suit, and boy, he still had an earful to say. Afterwards.
Oh yeah, he walked around that arena, and even the announcer, I think it was AJ, was like, "Dude, are you going to take this suit off or what? What are you doing? You won."
Yeah, if you've been wearing that suit since Thanksgiving.
He was building it up. He was building some interest,
Well, he already had plenty of interest.
I don't know. If I was him, I would have jerked that thing off immediately. But,
yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree.
So congratulations, Brandon Beretta, on your win and your loss of your iconic turkey suit. I wonder if...
So as soon as he took the turkey suit off, I was reminded of what I used to call him, which is the medium show.
Oh, because he's wearing the singlet.
He's got the singlet.
I see.
No, he wouldn't be medium. I was going to say, now that he's got the turkey suit off, I would like to actually see him get a chance at the Rush division.
Yeah.
I would.
He seems to have built some love with the fans now, finally getting that off. And,
I don't know about that.
And it's also worth talking about exactly how he got Luscious Lawrence. Just kind of got him in the small package.
That's what Brian just said.
I just love that. I know Brian mentioned it, but I wanted to come back and talk about it. I know you said it, Brian. I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a great little bit, and I just wanted to
it was fantastic.
Come back and put a button on that.
Yeah. Small package, and Luscious was all, surprised and everything. It was great.
Yeah, that was very shrewdly played on the part of Brandon Beretta, so congratulations.
A strictly business move, you might say.
Strictly business. I've been sitting here trying to think what his moniker was.
Yeah, that was it, and now we know. Right after that, backstage, we see lovely Miss Larkin, and I'm guessing she's having her own therapy session.
So she's a little bizarre.
She's a lot bizarre.
But you know what? I like it.
I love it.
I am there for all that.
Yes, I absolutely love it. It's like she's fighting with herself while she's wrestling an opponent.
Yeah.
There are props. There's a mask. There's an invisible knife.
Oh, I like how she wears the mask. Is it her opponent? Is what she usually does. That is so good.
Yeah.
With the eyeballs cut out.
She's backstage. She's having her moment, and Leela Feist comes up and tells her, if you think it's just going to be another seat on the trauma train, you got another thing coming. They both make it to. They come out. Boy, she is fired up right off the bat. Lovely Miss Larkin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's not to take anything away from Leela Feist, because I feel like she had a heck of a match.
New music and video to dance.
Yeah, and
she's one of my favorite chicks in there, and I like the new moniker she has, the Divine Drama.
I immediately thought about work.
We were just talking about Divine.
Did we sponsor her? Are we sponsoring her?
I don't know, but maybe
if we don't make some kind of connection here, I think we're all leaving money on the table.
That's true.
But that's just me.
And Ashton actually came out with her. You were talking before the show how much you really like Ashton.
I like Ashton Adonis. I think he's a rising star within the program here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to see him again with her, because she'd been out a couple times without him, and then he walked to the edge of the ramp and kind of like waved goodbye to her one time, like she was getting ready to get on the school bus.
Or catching a trade, really.
Yeah, something like that. But this match was something. I really enjoyed this match.
Oh, it was great. Both girls put on a great show here. And honestly, I've been a little worried because it's been a while since I've been on air. I think this is my first time this year. I was getting a little worried about the women's division. I was at one of the events, and obviously J-Rod is awesome.
Top of the food chain.
But I really missed the Bad Girls. And now Haley's gone. It's like, okay, what are we doing? But I have to say, these two women have picked up that mantle and they've ran with it.
They really stepped up and they got a full head of steam in this match. Lovely Miss Larkin, hits Leela Feist with a move. It was a backbreaker. Like leans in and either says something to her or like kisses her and then like tickles her.
Just like not that. What you expect to see at a wrestling match.
No, I mean they use the word unorthodox to describe her, and I think that's an understatement. The first time I ever heard somebody described as unorthodox in the wrestling world was any idea? I'm going way back to the 80s.
I do know it's just not. You asked me too quick. Who was it?
George the Animal Steel.
Oh, he was unorthodox.
He was very unorthodox.
Just the body hair alone was.
This is off the chain, and I absolutely love this. It's so entertaining.
It's great.
We mentioned women around the OVW that we've not seen recently with Haley gone. I did want to just take a moment and say the name Freya the Slayer because we've not really seen her much this year since she lost to J-Rod.
Well, she was on Overdrive last night.
Oh, well, I got to watch Overdrive.
Yeah, what do you know?
Well, I'll be watching it because we're going to cover it. So I'm glad to hear she's around. She's just not on Rise.
When she does come out, though, she has a noticeable scowl on her face these days. She's not smiling much. And she's there to kick ass and take names.
I look forward to watching Overdrive then because we're going to cover it this week.
I forget who she was.
Making that commitment.
Oh, yeah, I know who she was facing. She was facing poor little Carter Kaufman.
Oh, and poor Carter.
I'm sorry.
Threw that poor little girl around that ring like a rag doll.
I do really like Carter, but that's a Freya in a bad mood is not a good scene for Carter Kaufman.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about Overdrive.
No, we'll do that later.
We've got another podcast for that. Maybe you save that for that one. But,
it's a dormant one.
One of these days.
We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back this week.
I advocate for it, but I'm not the producer here.
Well,
okay, everybody give me the mean eyes, but let's move on.
Senor Stink Eye. So I think the most impressive thing, I saw a lot of impressive things from both competitors in this match, but I think the most impressive thing I saw from Leela Feist outside of, there was a monkey flip in there, I think. But she did the splits and then tripped lovely Miss Larkin on the way back through. And I thought that was pretty impressive.
Wasn't there a splits in the ropes for a choke also?
Yes, there was.
That was pretty. There's lots of splits in OVW these days.
Yeah, but easily the most engaging part of this match for me was the fight over the invisible knife.
Oh, yeah, the invisible knife. Is that something that Miss Larkin normally does?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so she carries around the invisible knife and pretends to stab people with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot stress enough how entertaining this is and how much joy this brings me every time I see it. This was a March Mayhem qualifying match.
That's certainly worth talking about for the women's division specifically.
For the women's division #1 contender. Mm-hmm. And lovely Miss Larkin takes the win.
She does.
It was also announced, this is probably as good a time as any to bring it up, that the Thursday before March Mayhem will be all fatal four-ways to determine the #1 contender for each of the belts.
I did hear that, yeah.
So I love the fatal four-way right before the championship matches for March Mayhem. Way to get right up against that IP.
I'm a big fan of fatal four-ways and triple threats. Those are some of my favorite matches.
Yeah, and if this is where that is heading, and this episode was so jam-packed, I can only imagine what's going to happen the next month of Thursdays before we get there because, last week was a great episode. This week, maybe even a little bit better in some respects.
This was a well-put-together episode.
Yeah.
Like a fine spice rack. Just everything nicely fit together. It felt solid.
A nice spice rack?
Sure.
With the sage, oregano,
all the little. It was a very flavorful episode.
If I were to say something about putting together, I would figure it would be like a puzzle or the pieces.
Well, it feels like carpentry.
I got a puzzle I'm working on right now. It's only 500 pieces, but it will drive you nuts.
I remember the days when I had time to do stuff like that in the wintertime back in Ohio when I was a struggling real estate
Okay, so maybe we should move on. They did a pretty good little sketch with Big Zoe.
Oh, he's ready.
Big
He
Zoe's
was
ready.
more than ready.
He's fired up, ready
Yeah.
to go.
I was glad to see him with that level of intensity, and just he's been on a tear lately. Anyway, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, yeah.
But our next match is a March Mayhem Tag Team Qualifier.
Mm-hmm. Between two of my favorites, Big J De Niro and
Hush.
Tony Evans, against Boy Toy Troy and Prime Player Jackson.
Star Player Prime.
Star Player, whatever.
Yeah.
It says Jackson here on my notes. So
Yeah, Star Player Prime Jackson.
Star Player Prime Jackson.
It's a lot of
That's a lot
buzzwords,
of
and then the
words.
word
That's
Jackson.
a lot of P's.
Yeah.
Love is hard.
So I was glad to see them. I was glad to see Boy Toy Troy and Star Player Prime get a high profile match like this and be part of the March Mayhem qualifying tournament.
You know, good for them. Those two guys, ever since they came out of the academy last year, week after week, they put on bangers. They come out and do great matches. I mean, look at Star Player.
I have never seen anybody be able to do that. I've seen a lot of people on their backs use their momentum to pop back up, but to be able to do it like 4 or 5 times in a row,
over and over.
I mean, I can't get up off the ground without hurting myself, much less pop up like that
Yeah.
4 or 5 times in a row.
Drew McIntyre does it once, but Star Player does it like 4 times, which is more impressive.
That is super impressive.
It is.
I literally hurt my hip getting out of bed this morning, so
Yeah.
they are very impressive.
Yeah, and as a team, this is the best they've ever looked as a team. The teamwork, the cooperation, functioning as one unit instead of 2 separate individuals. They have really done a lot, put a lot of work in, and it shows.
It does. It does. So, but anyway, it showed so well that Boy Toy and Star Player actually won this match.
They did. I was thrilled.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
I was glad. I mean, like I said, Big J and Tony are 2 of my favorite performers in all of OVW, but I was glad to see the young guys get a win here.
And they are no slouches. They're coming off of the Chain Chaos match at Tough Love, so you know they had a chip on their shoulder, but it was not their night.
Nope.
I was so glad to see Boy Toy Troy and Star Player Prime win, and I know that my cousin the Bandit is over the moon about this. As a matter of fact, as I was watching this, he texted me about it, and I said, "Brother, I literally just got done watching this match like 2 minutes ago."
So the Bandit, he switched Boy Toy a little bit, don't he?
Hmm?
He switched him a little bit, right?
What do you mean?
He's like kind of really fond of him.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You did.
I got him that picture for Christmas.
Oh, did you? Did
Yeah.
you get Troy to sign it for him?
Oh, of course,
Oh,
I
of
did.
course you did.
I got one of him and Star Player Prime both, and I made sure that they were in the mail. And they didn't make it there before Christmas, but they made it there before I thought. And I think if it wasn't for that, he probably wouldn't have gone to OVW Nightmare Rumble with me back in
really?
January. Yeah,
I was glad he was there. I think
So-
he had a good time.
I know he had a good time. He's coming back on the 29th.
That was such a great night.
We've already talked about it. We've made plans.
Oh,
gonna
for
have a
March
convoy.
Mayhem, he's going to come back for that.
Yeah.
I think we intend to be in there. Might want to get some tickets soon, though.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like we said, Boy Toy and Star Player win the match. And I think we move on to yet another sketch. You can tell us about that one.
Backstage, we see Jesse Goddard, Cal Hero, and let me move this forward just a little bit.
And Dustin,
And Dustin Jackson back there.
just broing it up,
Yeah, just hanging out in the back.
talking about their last man standing match from the previous week.
Yeah, and up comes Super Z.
What, did I do something wrong?
No, we love the sound effect.
It's like Super Z was just here and then he left.
I know. I mean, he's pretty fast. He could have been here.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't.
Pretty sure we've caught him running through this studio randomly at random times.
That explains why things are out of place every once in a while. I'll go looking for my glasses and
Maybe
Super Z.
he's the gremlin.
Maybe.
Oh, no, we have this problem, folks. Here
We have
at
gremlins.
Divine Spirits. Every item that we have, I don't care if it's a piece of paper, a cell phone, a paper clip, it grows legs and it moves around. It just does.
Yeah. Notoriously, scissors are migratory. Box cutters are seasonal.
Oh, yeah.
And what else? A really good pen.
Oh, yeah, pens, especially the pens we write on the bottles.
They're an endangered species.
The white pens, I think, are worth their weight in gold.
I think you guys can only use them once. As soon as you put them down, they don't work anymore. And you're like, can you get me more pens?
Yeah,
because I spend my life ordering those white pens for those bottles.
Yeah, that's pretty
well,
much how
the
goes.
writing machine, we won't get into details on that, but it wears out one of those.
That's top secret. That's classified.
Yeah. So,
But we see all the heroes from the main event last week talking about their match against the Revolution and what happened, and it kind of sets the stage for some of the things that'll happen later on in this episode.
I absolutely loved that match.
From last week?
Yes,
that was a
fantastic
match. That was very entertaining. I watched that one on the big screen in the production room.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I liked the bit where Doug just opened the ropes and Cal just went flying out into the floor. I was like, that was so well timed.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But the next thing we see in the ring, wouldn't you know it? Let me look at my watch. It's Zoe time.
Zoe time.
Yeah. And
this was so great.
This was a hell of a fiery promo
from
Big Zoe, and he wants to get his hands on Mount Kadeem in the worst way.
He sure does.
But he comes out to the ring to tell us that, unfortunately, Mount Kadeem can't make it tonight.
Because he is not in the building.
He is not in the building. So he takes this opportunity to, just really let the fans know where his head's at, let us know that he is fired up. He wants a title shot. He wants that title. It's been 9 years.
9 years?
That's what he said.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then in the middle of this fiery speech, he is interrupted by Mount Kadeem, who is dressed very sharply and speaking with...
I don't know who that is.
I don't recognize him either.
I don't know.
Random middle-aged dude. Yeah. I'm guessing it's a producer of some sort.
They're working on they're working out some contract
They're working
details.
on some projects. Those are his people, and they'll have their people call our people if they want to let us know who that is. But
and he basically told Big Zoe to pack a lunch because he'd be whooping that ass.
Yeah. So the match that we were hoping for this week, unfortunately we didn't get to see it. But the good news is, this Thursday, we get Big Zoe, Mount Kadeem.
One-on-one for the title.
Yeah, for the title.
Excellent.
I thought Kadeem really looked like a star here, too, in that little video segment. It was well lit. It did not appear to be in a basement. He was actually wearing a suit.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty... As much as, I prefer a real live, let's come to the ring and talk it out, I thought this was a pretty good video that
his video
brought
was
in.
Over, man.
EC3 take notes.
Yeah. EC3 take a lot of notes.
A lot of notes. Maybe don't do a
proud
promo
of you too.
in the
You caught on to
drive-thru.
that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we did not get to see the match that we all came there to see, but that's okay. That was a great promo cut by Big Zoe and a even better video brought to you by our world champion, Mount Kadeem.
Yeah.
Which we're really looking forward to that match tomorrow night.
So with that being said, this leads us to our hour one main event. And this is a bit of a continuation of the storyline going back the last few weeks. Last week's big 4-man or 8-man tag, 8-man elimination tag at the end of the show. And we've seen this similar matchup or similar iterations of this matchup going back a few weeks. Star Rider and the Evil Z versus Cow Hero and the OVW resident superhero, Super Z.
He is the Rush Division champion, by the way.
Yes, he most certainly is. I love all the angles of this story. Going back to last week, did they really get into, first off, do we know if Brandon Kennison's okay?
I don't know, but that was the third time he's been kidnapped.
Really?
At least.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that from Brian himself.
Oh, wow.
He
Then,
said that was the third time that he's been kidnapped, and he feels like he's in a little bit of danger on that show.
He maybe he should carry a taser or something.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know.
He needs to do something to defend himself because He can't do it on his own. And dancing Stevie J ain't going to do nothing to help him.
He's going to dance his way out of there.
Well, yeah. He'll just dance his way out of trouble.
If only there was someplace local where you could learn to wrestle,
maybe,
and
keep up with yourself in those situations.
Yeah.
I mean, he could get some legal help. I hear PJ Jones is available.
Yeah, he's just there to get you off.
Oh,
but
okay.
If only there was some kind of academy that taught you how to handle attackers or something. I don't know. It feels like there's something, but it kind of escapes me right now. So kind of figured at some point there was going to be some sort of outside distraction.
And I think there was, wasn't there?
There most certainly was. I mean,
but not what we expected.
Not what we expected at all. First of all, the more we have this match, the more I really want Cal Hero to have his own mask. Seriously, I mean, every time this match comes on in my head, the song pops up. One of these things is not like the other, and it's come on,
that
dude.
Unmatched man?
Yeah.
Well, Cal's just a hero. He doesn't need a mask to prove
That's true.
it.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that.
I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning behind this. Is Cal is Cal hero?
Okay. So we do see an outside presence in this match, and I'll go ahead and cue this up a little bit so we can kind of talk about it.
And who was the outside presence?
Evil Z's a jerk. Before we even get to the outside presence, Evil Z's mocking Super Z and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Evil Z tried to do the Z thing to Cal, and it just Cal just sort of laughed at him. It was great.
Well, yeah.
There is no power to that punch
because he's a fake superhero. Yeah. Super Z is a real superhero. You have to be a real superhero for that Z knockout to work.
Yeah, and obviously Evil Z is not that.
He is not.
No,
and now Super Z has a utility belt, so he's got gadgets and things, I presume.
I wonder what kind of gadgets are in that belt.
I look forward to finding out. Something's got to come out of that utility belt.
I don't know. I can't remember
soon.
off the top of my head what was in Batman's utility belt, but if I had a
anything
utility belt,
that he needed,
it was going to be full of probably snacks.
It's full of MacGuffin. Batman's utility belt is full of MacGuffin because if you need something, here it is. Let's get some bat shark repellent going.
All right. So, in the middle of this match, as we have talked about previously, suspect that there's a good chance that we're going to see Jamin Olivencia. And he's been popping up in the crowd at various places. But this time, he's actually inside the barricade. And I believe that's the first time this year that he has been on that side of the barricade and in the ring in
kind of come out of the audience because we saw him in person walk around the audience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this time, he was inside the barriers in full regalia with his slightly feathery regalia that he kind of does.
Yeah.
Okay, like I told you, for some reason I missed this match. I don't know why.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure what happened here.
So you figured that, maybe he was there and he was going to come out with a microphone because he had something to say to Cal Hero that he wanted the fans to hear. Or maybe he was just going to come in and attack him. But
a very easily understood message.
Yeah, but
we
got none of those things. No microphone. He came to the ring. He addressed Cal directly and privately. We have no idea what they said. But
did the classic wrestling throw out my hand for a handshake?
He extended the olive branch to Cal Hero, and Cal is obviously surprised by this after everything that's happened the past few weeks.
I'm kind of surprised by what I just saw.
I'm very surprised by this.
So Star Rider comes up to kind of get in the way, and Jamin hits him.
Yeah, as they're talking, Star Rider is going to attack him with the championship belt, and Jamin dispatches him in quick fashion.
He took the belt and wiped him out. I'm a little surprised by that. So I guess Jamin's not part of Revolution anymore, or?
I honestly don't know. That is one of my first questions.
I don't know about that decision.
Well, we've got Jamin kind of acting against the Revolution here. We've got your buddy from Ohio who's also saying that he's not really with the
Dalton McKenzie. That's right.
Saying that he's not. That interview is available now on our Facebook page and on our audio feeds.
Yeah, that was a fun interview, by the way.
It
I
really
learned
was.
a lot about my old job that I didn't know had happened before, during, and after my time there. So, plus it was always good to catch up with Dalton. And
The Revolution still holds the 3 biggest belts in the organization right now, though. So
exactly,
Yeah.
that's the
they
that's
hold
the
the
key
national,
point right now.
the world champion, and the women's champion. So
Yeah, for now.
you know.
But his presence in this match, he just, after he attacks Star Rider, he just gets up and walks out, and Cal follows him, leaving the opposite of what happened last time. Cal left the last time, so it was Super Z versus
Star Rider.
Star Rider was still in the ring, and Super Z gets the pin, and they get the victory.
There you are.
And what was Evil Z doing during all this?
Looks like he was laying outside the ring there,
Yeah.
being evil,
He was sleepy.
harassing little children.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah.
Talking smack to the kids in the front row because they're the only people there that aren't bigger than
I
him.
do like how he puts his thumbs up right in their face and then turns it upside down. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's like, eat that, little girl. Thumbs down. I don't know. I just think it's funny.
Yeah. So, top of the second hour, we've got the OVW Media Championship match between
Dustin Jackson versus Anthony. Is it Katina? Is that how you say that?
Katina.
Katina. Okay.
I was surprised to hear that both his parents wrestled at the what was the name of the place in Texas? I can't remember what it was.
Alamo Dome?
No, where all the wrestling happened.
The sports complex. Yeah, I forget though. It's the one we watched.
It's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't.
It's the one
remember
in
what it is.
Texas, right?
Yes.
Because and he just spent a year in Mexico and going over somewhere into Asia. Anthony.
Yeah.
You guys might want to also mention that he once again kisses the head of AJ McKay as he's coming to the ring.
I noticed that, and they were kind of puzzled by that. Like, is that his good luck charm, his good luck ritual?
Well, if you
Yeah.
and then
We'll get into this match. It might be his crush or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of makes it pretty obvious.
I don't know what's up with that.
This was a great back and forth match, by the way. Dustin Jackson has really come into his own, and he's been impressive lately. He's been on a tear. And Anthony Katina he's been out there to impress too. He does well in the ring, but Dustin has all the momentum these days.
Yeah, I knew something was up with Anthony Katina when they started talking about how he insists on wrestling in a shirt.
Yeah.
That seems something very oddly specific to point out. Mm-hmm. They never say that about anybody else. They never say that about Jay De Niro.
No.
Anybody. So you kind of figured that was going to have that was going to come into play here in a little bit. And Dustin Jackson hits him with some chops. If you've ever been chopped, getting hit on your bare skin is going to be more painful than getting hit through your shirt more often than not.
Yeah.
So Dustin Jackson finally gets the shirt from Anthony Katina, and we see a tattoo on his chest.
Yeah. Right on his pec.
Yeah. It's a great big red heart, and it just says AJ.
It says AJ. And I don't think he means Styles.
No.
Or McKay. No, I was thinking
what?
of.
No, he does.
I was thinking of B.J. McKay, who was a '70s truck driving
And his
hero.
best friend Bear.
Exactly. Yes.
That was in
Yeah.
the 80s, by the way.
Oh well.
But no, AJ McKay,
Yes.
not BJ, AJ.
Yeah. So what do you make of that?
I mean, AJ and I think it was Eric that was up there with him, or one of them guys, maybe Josh.
It was
Josh.
Josh and
Linda.
Yes.
Yeah, they seemed a little perplexed by it too, and I'm not sure. They left that one up in the air.
Yeah.
For us to figure out later what's going on with that. Maybe AJ's his daddy or something. Or his uncle, or
I don't know.
Grandfather, or
Maybe the initials of his wife or sweetheart or girlfriend.
maybe
Could just be a coincidence, but then he's also kissing AJ, so
Well,
he kisses him on the head, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, It is nice and shiny and bald. I mean, I can see the attraction.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know.
All right. Well, then the next
We're
time we go to
learning
Davis
things
Arena and we
tonight.
run into AJ McKay, I fully expect you to kiss him on the
So
head.
AJ is quite introduced. I haven't never actually met AJ in person.
Oh,
so
well, then
it would be
Tiny
a little
Brian,
weird if I walked up and just kissed
The
him
next
on the
time
head.
we're all there, probably for the pay-per-view March Mayhem, we need to introduce them so senior producer Victor can kiss AJ McKay.
If you
on
think
the
I
head.
won't kiss him on top of his head, you are sadly mistaken.
Oh no, I feel like we've talked about it enough where we have to make this happen because we have to take a picture and
Okay.
I need to see this.
I mean, hopefully he's not all sweaty. That would be.
I mean, commentating's a hard job, but they get to sit down and there's drinks and stuff. So
That's true.
it's probably okay.
I'm going to take a moment and just remind everybody that we'll need to get little consent from AJ before you guys randomly walk up and kiss him. Please.
So are you implying that Anthony Katina has
I
asked
don't
for
know
consent
what-
every single
I
time?
don't know what their
that was the
arrangements are.
implication. Quit giving away the storylines over there, Tiny.
Okay.
Hush.
Hush.
Shut it.
So anyway, this is a great match, and tell us who wins the match, Brian.
Dustin Jackson
Dustin Jackson.
retains the championship
He sure does.
yet again.
Yet again.
I'm sure that means that there will be more matches, maybe with Leather Daddy Doug. Maybe there will be another challenger for the.
He needs another challenger.
Yeah.
I think Ashton Adonis would be a good challenger for him. But that's just my opinion.
You just never know.
Or Anthony Katina again. I think he could.
By losing this match, does that mean he goes to the back of the line?
I mean, maybe he knows people in high places. That might be something that tattoo might be concerning. He might get back into the front of the line. I don't know.
Well, this is not a qualifying match.
Yeah, it's not a qualifying match.
Oh,
we're just speculating here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just paying off that championship opportunity that Anthony had earned. So Anthony could qualify and get back into this, and they could meet back up at the
He
pay-per-view.
sure could.
It's anybody's guess, really.
So for this match, Dustin does take the win with the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and Anthony loses with his heart tattoo and all.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we hear about as far as that goes on this week's episode of Rise. I'm interested to see where this story would lead because it's pretty curious.
It was.
Yeah.
They left a lot of questions there, but it keeps you coming back.
That's right. That means you'll just have to tune in next time.
That's it. So what happens next, Brian?
We see none other than Hoda Peso backstage, and he's about to tell us why he's excited about the Rush tournament, and he is interrupted.
He was interrupted by the hardest working man in all of show business, Icon Lee.
Wait, that's James Brown.
Well, he's not still working.
Well, James Brown is also slightly deceased, so he's not
Well,
working.
yeah, but he
anything.
was the hardest working man first.
Okay. The hardest working man in sports entertainment. How about that?
Oh, I'm sure somebody else has already laid claim to that. The most posting man in OVW. How about that?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you that one.
He is still every third post on our social media feeds. Since well before he was ever even in a dark match at OVW, he's been every third post on our social media feeds.
He most certainly has.
Icon Lee gets an A for effort.
Yeah.
That's
And Hoda, just like everybody's reaction to Icon Lee is what that?
What the F, man?
Yeah. So,
I feel you, man. I definitely feel you as far as that
but
goes.
what that leads to is a pretty entertaining match for bout number 6 here between Icon Lee and Hoda Peso, which, in my opinion, was a really evenly match. I don't know how to say that, but
Pretty evenly matched match.
yeah,
Okay.
what you said.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Yeah, but it was great. I mean, they're similar sizes. They both rely on their speed and some of their good moves that they both do. And I thought it was a great match. They went back and forth and put on a great show for us.
Yeah, they sure did. All right.
You're supposed to follow up there, Brian. I left it open for you.
Well, yeah, and I'm sitting here watching the going back and forth, and it's there's a lot to say, and Icon said a lot of it, like he always does.
He does. He is not short on words.
No, he might be short, but not short on words.
He is a man of small stature.
Yes. If the OVWs were the big dogs play, he's the Chihuahua.
He is that. Yip, yip. But, it's not every day that – I'm not the tallest person in the world. I'm pretty much average height. But it's not every day that I meet somebody that's as jacked as he is, and I look down on him a little bit. Because he's way shorter than I am.
Yeah.
But the kid is jacked, though.
He definitely is, and he's got the ability in the ring for sure. There's no question about that. There's just a lot of checks being written by that man's mouth.
Well,
Is he going to cash them all?
I mean, I think he will.
Where does he bank?
I mean, I think he will.
Is it a rewards checking account?
Whatever. I think he's a future Rush Division champion.
Yeah, that is entirely possible. And who knows? Maybe he'll climb through the ranks through the March Mayhem.
I'll go ahead and predict it right here. He's winning the championship, the Rush Division championship off of Super Z at March Mayhem, March 29th. Write it down.
Well,
write it down.
There you are.
I will.
Icon Lee is your next Rush Division champion.
We do the predictions in the next show, but you know what? We'll do it right now.
I'm just saying. I mean, I got to say it. I'm never on here. You guys don't let me come on mic. Rightfully so. I don't blame you.
Wait. It's not like it's anybody's decision.
I mean, it's almost like I didn't own anything around here, right?
Well, I mean, you know where we are and when we do this.
That's true, but
so if you want to be here, you're always more than welcome.
I mean, you put Leather Daddy Doug in here on us. You could just come and be yourself on here on us.
I did that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, that's where that came from. You snuck him in here.
He is Leather Daddy Doug, and as Chris will tell you, he's our daddy. You have to do what that Leather Daddy says.
I don't know about all that.
I'm just saying.
Let's move along.
I'm just saying.
So. Icon Lee takes the win.
Icon Lee actually wins this match with a really impressive finisher. I don't think I've ever actually seen that finisher before. Not sure what you call it.
Tell me about it. I'll back up and
and I'll have to see it again. But the finisher was great.
It wasn't where he just kind of dropped Hoda on his head, right?
Yeah, that's where he dropped him.
That was nasty looking.
It's nasty looking.
Oh yeah, that was wasn't it like off the top? Wasn't that a high spot too? Up high? No,
I just remember I liked the finisher. I had to see it again to.
All right, we're looking forward here because we want to.
Because it ends abruptly. Like Hoda's kind of got the upper hand, and then all of a sudden, bam, and it's over.
I mean, just the way he landed, it looks like he was going to be carried out on a spine board or something.
Yeah,
it was just
he looked like he broke his neck.
That seems to happen to him a lot. Poor Hoda.
Yeah. Well, I mean. These little guys, man, they get thrown around a lot, even with each other. That's one thing I say about Icon. Like, y'all can say whatever you want to about him, but he's willing to get out there and try to pick up Mount Kadeem and look stupid. He's willing to get out there and face Cash Flow and have him throw him halfway across the ring. So, he's earning his stripes, man. Here it is.
Like him or not.
Bam. So it's kind of like he grabs him like a Stone Cold Stunner and flips him over and then drops him kind of on his back and shoulders. It looks good. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty rough to me. Like him or hate him, he's not going anywhere. So make sure you keep an eye out.
He's like One Eye. Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
So I think we go on to another sketch. Yep, from Donovan. Donovan's not saying anything.
He's just backstage. He's pissed. He's ready to go.
Getting hopped up, getting himself ready.
Looking a little darker and more intimidating these days.
For a much-needed rematch between him and Eric Surge.
Yeah. Last week, neither one of us predicted correctly. I don't think anybody really saw this ending in a tie last week.
It just ended in a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just actually, I think the time ran out, wasn't it?
They knocked each other out, and then when the crowd chanted, "Let them fight," we were informed that the TV time limit had expired.
Yeah.
So we get round 2 of Mammoth Donovan Cecil versus the Bomb Eric Surge.
And this match was literally the opposite of the match we just saw. These are two mountains of men between Donovan Cecil and Eric Surge.
I don't think I've ever seen Donovan that intense.
And I think you're right. One of you guys said that he seems to be getting darker with like his presentation.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, yeah. He does. He seems to be getting darker, a little bit meaner, which I think he does need to get a little meaner because a guy with that much size and the way he can move, like, yeah, you need to back that up a little bit with a little bit of edge to you.
I feel like we saw a quicker Donovan Cecil, a more powerful Donovan Cecil, more explosive Donovan Cecil, because he came off the ropes, and it almost looked like the video glitch, like it went too fast for a second.
And one of the things, the reason I think his speed's a little bit higher is he's slimmed down a little bit.
He has slimmed down tremendously.
I say he's probably dropped about 30, 40 pounds.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than that.
It may be more than that, but you can see it right here when he stands up and at the air. It's like, oh, wow, Donovan slimmed down a little bit.
Yeah, going back to where we saw him first time back in August of 2023 at that pay-per-view.
Lean and mean.
I noticed the other day, I'm going to talk about myself for real quick here. Last week, I was almost eaten by a zombie 1 year ago.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I almost posted that on Facebook.
It took me a while to recover from that. I had a nasty scar.
Boy, you did.
Yeah, I had a nasty, road rash on my elbow from that. He almost got me.
Yeah.
And, it's not a good idea to bleed in front of a zombie.
Oh, no.
I was almost a had lad.
I still kind of have, I get the heebie-jeebies about that, like when I'm here late at night.
Yeah.
And the light's off in the hallway, and I got to walk down the hall to use the restroom.
Whatever happened to ZDP?
I don't know.
I don't know what happened to him.
Honestly, I kind of kept an eye on you for a couple of weeks. I kept expecting you to keel over and then rise as a zombie or Selby.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I'd be VDP, but,
No. You're VIC.
Oh, yeah, I am VIC.
Yeah.
But anyway, get back to this excellent match between Eric Surge and Donovan Cecil. And I'll go ahead and drop this little tidbit since we're on an air. Eric Surge, the way he moves, the way he looks, and everything, he reminds me of JYD, the Junkyard Dog.
You've said that before.
Well, I know. I said that to you.
Yeah.
But I figured I'd say it here. It's just the way he looks to me. And I don't know. It's just his whole presentation, the way he moves. Because JYD had that same kind of girth, and he moved around about the same way. Like, darken him up a little bit, should have a chain around his neck, I think he would be Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog is on my wrestling calendar that my cousin Joey gave me for Christmas this year. So he is the month of February. And it reminded me that I've got a best of JYD video from the Memphis days. And
I bet it's on VHS, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no.
No, but I've got some VHS at the house that
I know you do.
Check out, yeah.
I know you do.
But I'm looking forward to checking that out because I want to look into this comparison. And, JYD was one of the greats.
Oh, he was awesome. He was one of my favorites back in the day.
He was one of my favorites, too. He was the second good guy I bought of all the LJNs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was very over, and Eric Surge is very over in the same regard.
Eric's been very impressive ever since the Rumble that night.
They're still talking about that.
He stayed in there about an hour.
Uh-huh.
And, I told you guys at the end of that night, I was like I didn't know his name at the point. I was like the big black guy. I was like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name at that point, but I was like, yeah, that guy is the real deal. And it turns out, with the ending of this match, he is, in fact, the real deal.
Yeah.
Like, I was a little surprised with the finish here, Brian. Tell us about the finish.
I was very surprised. Standard power move from Donovan Cecil with the bear hug. That is a great big man move to wear down your opponent. It's been a standard in the big guy playbook for going back to the 80s. Big John
the
Studd,
bear hug all the way back
like
to
that.
Andre.
Yeah,
he was one of the.
He definitely
was the first guy I remember doing that. Like he would squeeze them and they'd pass out. Eventually.
Yeah, I remember that from back when I was a kid. But I'm fast forwarding to the end of this match so we can see the finisher while we talk about it. We've had so much going on today.
I wouldn't mind to see them have them do like the best out of 7 or whatever they did with what they did with Shane and Joe back last year.
Yeah,
these two guys.
Yeah,
because I think they're that evenly matched and they put on that good of a show. They really do. You can actually see the ring move on some of their stuff. Yeah, they just run into each other and it's like bam. And now he gave him the the sitting clothesline. I don't know. What you call that.
Let me go back and look at that because I knew it was something out of the ordinary that you don't ordinarily see. But I mean, Eric Surge in this case, super quick, just like Donovan was earlier. Runs across the ring. Donovan's sitting upright in the ring, and it's almost like a diving shoulder tackle.
Yeah.
And that's all she wrote for Donovan Cecil.
Yeah, right here. He drops him. Eric just kind of pushes him down.
He kind of falls over and then up against the
here
ropes.
Here it comes. Bam.
Yeah.
It's basically like a running
The camera kind of cuts, so you didn't get to see the whole thing. But, yeah, it's like a diving shoulder tackle. And he gets the pin.
He got the surprising 1-2-3 against Mammoth, which I was surprised and impressed with.
Yeah.
So Eric Surge seems like he's going to go places in this promotion here.
Oh, most definitely. There's no doubt about that.
So
what do we have next?
What do we have next? Let's see. Bout 8, the OVW Rise main event. This is another tag team qualifier for March Mayhem. And it's one of my new favorite tag teams, these guys are great as a team with Loud and Lawless.
Yeah.
With, what's the rocker guy's name?
Ryan Von
Rocket and Jake Lawless, and they go against Jesse Goddard and who we got, Brian?
That would be none other than
Human Thumb.
Adam
Revolver.
Now with smiles.
Yes, now with smiles.
Yeah, he smiles because he's a good guy.
Happy times.
I still miss him though. I can't see him sometimes. He's so transparent.
Well, there's that.
You know.
I really love Loud and Lawless.
Oh, I do too.
I love the vibe. What a perfect fit.
They are great together.
For those two guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see them. I mean, the gimmick pops, the chemistry's there, the teamwork's there. Neither one of those guys is any slouch.
No. And honestly, Von Rocket, since I've been watching these OVW for the last almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
He never seems to quite get over with the fans for some reason, even though he's very good and very entertaining. I mean, you can't stop The Rock. I
never
agree with
will.
that. But for whatever reason, I think that Jake gives him a little extra pizzazz, gives him a little extra push.
Yeah.
Makes him, I don't know, maybe it's putting a little youth into the act a little bit because I keep forgetting his name. Jake is awesome.
Yeah.
He's very energetic. He puts on great matches, and I agree with what your comment earlier. He needs to have a hat.
He does very much need to have a hat.
Match with his tag team partner.
Yeah, and it, like you said, it needs to kind of go with the chair, the chain link chair.
Put some chains around the, around the brim or whatever.
Do you like this version of Ryan Von Rocket better or less than Ryan Von Rocket with the Rockettes?
I would say this one.
I totally agree.
I would agree too.
Because, I mean, I appreciate the hot girls coming through doing dancing and stuff. That's great. I mean, all men love that. But you know what? That's been done a million times.
I kind of feel like this version of Ryan Von Rocket is when you've got like a favorite band that you've loved for, however long, like your all-time favorite band. And, things change over the years. Like they lose some band members, and then they bring in a new band member.
Right.
That really kind of revitalizes the whole thing. And I feel like that's what Jake Lawless has brought to Ryan Von Rocket. Ryan Von Rocket has to Jake Lawless.
You kind of put some elegance into what I was trying to say earlier.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do my best.
Yeah.
I don't just sit here and draw on my thumb. I actually have things to say sometimes.
You don't always draw on your thumb.
Unless we're talking about Adam Revolver, in which case I do because it makes me incredibly happy. So there's that.
So, yeah, this is a great match. Jesse and Adam Revolver are two very seasoned veterans in the OVW. Both men put on great matches no matter what. And is it weird that they're teamed up or not?
Well, I mean, they were part of the Over Men, but now that's over
man.
Well, I don't think Jesse was ever in the Overman.
Are you sure?
He was in the faction.
He was in the faction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when
All
it
right.
became part of, Jesse got
So
kicked
it's like
out.
the difference between being in the Yardbirds for Jimmy Page versus being in Led Zeppelin.
Sure. And in the same way as EC3 left Goddard's out when the faction became the Overman,
Right.
EC3 was left out when the Overman became the Revolution.
But they were a tag team before that,
The
right?
Overman did not become the Revolution.
No.
No, nobody that's in the Revolution was in the Overman.
No, I guess that's true, but
But they were a tag team. Mr. Spectacular and Adam Revolver.
Were they?
I believe so.
there was a tag team in the faction. I don't think it was them.
No, that was
Who was it?
It
the
was
tag team in the faction was
Luke Curtis.
and little Joe Mack or whatever.
Yeah, Baby
yes,
Joe
they
Mack.
were one.
Baby
but
Joe Mack, yeah. He was a big baby. That's Gracie.
I've got the shirt to prove it. I
Oh,
know.
okay.
And I should have wore that earlier when we had our guest for Fan Zone, but we'll get to that later. Adam Revolver and Mr. Spectacular looked great.
They do.
They did,
They did. They always look great, especially Jesse.
but not great enough tonight.
Nope, not
No.
tonight. They kind of fell flat.
And this was a qualifying match too, correct?
That's correct.
Tag team
So-
qualifier.
Loud and Lawless move on in
Yes,
March
sir.
Mayhem, and unfortunately, we will not see Spectacular and Adam Revolver move forward. Unfortunately,
Oh well.
although I have to give them credit, it was great when Loud and Lawless both played Mr. Spectacular's arms like guitars.
Yeah, that was great.
That was one of the best parts, I think. For me.
You know what Adam and Jesse are missing while they lost this match, right?
What?
Shannon the douche. They're missing their manager.
Oh well,
Who
it's-
is in the Revolution?
Yeah.
He's in the Revolution.
He is, and
But-
they are.
But
not
as much as I
just-
hate to admit it, I think Jesse and Adam are missing him because he.
Does anybody really miss Shannon the Dude?
What do you mean?
I mean, if he's gone, I mean, are you going to be?
Then who would you boo?
I can think of a few people.
I know, but it is so much fun to boo Shannon. Though.
It's fun if you get a rise out of him and he actually responds back.
He actually called Tiny out by name at the last event we was at.
Yeah, but
He
that's
said,
not,
"Shut up, Brian."
That's not an OVW, man.
I was, huh?
No, that was an OVW.
No,
Was
that was
it?
an OVW.
No, the Nightmare Rumble, there was a group of guys there who were probably country boyed up a little bit, who were trying to do the "you bum" meme, which is things that often happens at baseball games where you yell at outfielders like, "Outfielder, you probably don't return your shopping cart, you bum."
Yeah.
And everybody does the "you bum" together.
It's a TikTok thing.
It's a TikTok thing.
Oh,
And
I'm
I heard
very
him
much
try to do
21st
it.
century, so I have no idea what that is.
So yeah, I stood over there with that group they were on one of the over in the ramp B, and I kind of stood there by the snack bar and just yelled random things about Shannon, and they would all come behind me and go, "You bum." So
It was actually pretty funny and pretty good. And Shannon points right at me and goes, "You shut up, Brian." And I was like,
I get to see him this Friday. I can't wait to see how
I
that
was
turns
like,
out.
What, Shannon all of a sudden think he's Matt Jones? Shut up, Shannon the douche. Boo.
That's right up there with "Shut up, Wesley."
Yeah.
He got really mad when I accused him of playing just 10 songs on 2 different radio shows every day.
Well, are you wrong?
I didn't say I was wrong.
Well, he only
All right then.
on Double Q you have to play a certain format.
That's why he got mad, because you called him on it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's the he's
Well,
the
I've heard
radio
Shannon-
champion.
I've heard Shannon complain himself about the choices of music that he's.
Well, I always wanted to be a DJ when I grew up, or work at something like that, but I never got a chance to. But what I did hear from the people who are in the industry is that is probably their biggest complaint.
So you want to be Shannon the dude when you grew up?
No.
Wow, I did not know that about you.
we went to college together for communications, dude. This was 25 years ago. What did you go for?
Here we are.
Doing sports media.
Yeah.
That's it.
Heinz the douche. I didn't know.
Look at me, Mom. I'm using my degree, and I'm with this guy over here. Thanks a pant load, Chet.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So what did we think of this overall? That was the last match, right?
That was the last match.
That was the last match.
And we have a couple of qualifiers. I think that we'll see Adam and or certainly Jesse be in some other qualifying match for the heavyweight or for something that they're still going to qualify for.
You think they're still going to be in the hunt for something?
Yeah, I think
sure.
that this isn't. Yeah, I think the tag team is kind of the least of their interests.
Isn't Jesse always in the hunt for either the national or the heavyweight title?
I figured
Almost
he
at
was
all
going to be
times.
in the hunt for the House of Villains.
House of Villains.
Yeah.
That's the reality show he was on, but we're between that right now, so he can go get. Let's. I wouldn't mind seeing Jesse try to hit a national, or not a national, but a heavyweight reign. He hasn't had that belt yet.
I want to see him slam out Kadeem.
He already hasn't he?
Did Spectacular?
Yeah.
Yeah, he slammed him.
Well, I mean, I want to see him slam him and win. How about that?
Yeah, well, that would be ideal, but I don't see anybody beating Mount Kadeem anytime soon.
I feel like somebody's got to. I just don't know who or when.
I'm hoping it's Big Zoe in about 24 hours from
I
when
don't
this
think so,
comes out.
guys.
That would be outstanding. Good luck to you, Big Zoe.
But that's also a discussion for Fan Zone in just a few minutes.
Oh yeah, let's just hold off on that one.
Yeah.
I got some more things, more glowing things to say about my fandom for Mount Kadeem.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you do.
So what else we got, Brian?
Do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's about it. I noticed that we don't do our closing credits anymore. Is that something that you guys just memorize, or you just don't do it?
That is a producer, Brian.
Yeah,
question.
I don't know. I've been meaning to kind of do a shorter version of it, but we just, it was a minute and a half of us just kind of this person, this thing, that thing. Okay. You are a supervising producer, and Malachi's here next to me, and I'm kind of the day-to-day producer, and Jackman's missing, and we love Brian.
And we have to say get well there, Jerkman. We miss
Yes. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe where you get your podcasts.
What they said.
you. All right. I think that's it for this episode.
Yep.
Peace
that
out,
is
folks.
it. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you soon.